All right, seeing that it is 5:04, I call this meeting of the school board and the budget committee to order.
I do not have a quorum. For yourself.
You have 4.
I think I need 5.
I don't think.
Oh, because Jamie's the RSA thing.
Yeah.
My bad, sorry.
It's all right, this works well then. All right, we're going to jump right into updated warrant article review in preparation for the coming hearing. Oh, would you like to start with Pledge of Allegiance? Would you like to? I pledge allegiance to the
United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Right, now to updated warrant article review, there's been some changes in the last few days. So, has everybody had an opportunity to review them? Mr. You could send them out, we get copies if people need. Seeing none, Article 1 has not really changed from our last meeting.
The default number did change because I realized, okay, so I realized that in error had subtracted out last year's warrant article for the increase to the support staff, which is 500 and some thousand. And I caught that when I was looking through and going, preparing the DRA paperwork, so I had to add that back in. So it did increase the default budget, so now there's a difference of about 218,000.
Okay, so it's very, very similar to what we will be voting on. I guess that could come up with a question later on if people want more of a choice, so something to be aware of. So thank you very much for that article.
Yeah, and I just wanted to also point out quickly that the other updates throughout is that we beefed up the information pieces. So it has the information that will go out in the annual report and the budget digest, right?
Yeah, yep, and the budget, I guess.
So this is what people will get.
And
Yeah, budget
Yeah,
digest.
the information, yeah.
digest.
Okay. Yes, I thought it was great. I really did like how you laid out the projects for each of the individual attendance areas. So are there any questions while we're here for warrant article 1? Seeing none, how about warrant article 2? That one hasn't changed. Any of the individual town warrants that are this?
Question is information. It says an average wage increase of 3.72. So is that because of all those people that are been here for more than 15 years?
Yeah, yes, we have so many that are on that end of the scale that aren't getting.
But everyone else is getting 5%, 2.5.
But the average for the collective bargaining agreement is there was no way to.
Okay. Just make sure I just understand that.
Yeah.
What we signed off on was it was 2.5 and 2.5.
Yes.
That averages out because of all those people who are on longevity, not getting steps.
And there was no change to the longevity, so there's no new money in the warrant article for that.
Everybody good? All right, so unless somebody has a question on any of the 5-town or the high school capital reserve articles, we'll jump right to Article 7. Because there are a lot of changes there. Sorry. Article 7 doesn't really change because we added the 250 for the high school, which is something we've all seen in past years. Article 8 is where there are major changes.
Yes, so I was asked to try to compress the articles. We went back to when we went back to the DRA with reference to their specific language. They said, sure, you can do it. Which was a complete flip from what I had asked previously. But anyway, so we had this language is drafted by the attorney, and it's been approved by the Department of Revenue as well. And what it does is it changes the purpose of the existing trust or reserve, so we don't have to close it and open a new one. It's just changing the existing purpose. And it will still require a 2/3 vote.
I did have a question on that. The information on Article 8, that little section will be on the voting ballot, so they will not, they'll get it ahead of time.
It'll go in the budget digest, so the little yellow flyer.
Right, okay,
It'll be
okay.
in there,
Okay,
yep. And in the annual report.
okay.
So this one, I just want to highlight that it requires a 2/3 vote. It's not a simple majority, it's not a super majority. It is a super majority. 66% of the voters need to approve changing this, or we make no change at all. And so if we want to do this paving project this year in this avenue, then we absolutely need to be speaking with our constituents. We need to be talking in any avenue that we can in order to help people understand why we are changing the purpose of this reserve fund.
Sorry, could we try to Article 7 just for just 1 second?
Sure.
Update the budget committee why we put that $250,000 in for the high school. Because we already have $818,000 in high school. And you think, my God, why do you need $250,000 more, right? So it's there because if we fix the track, that takes it down to about 700,000. If we move from Article 8, move that 759,000 in, we have just about enough money to pave the park. And but if we do that, then the capital reserve fund for the high school will be close to zero. So we are refunding it to Article 7.
In addition to that, that money only would go in if there's a surplus in the budget, which there's not a lot of room in there, so it may not happen anyway.
Melissa? Which article is the track being carried on? I missed that, my fault.
Sure, that is Article 6.
And how
Shall
much was that?
the Fall Mountain Regional School District voters vote to raise and appropriate $100,700 to resurface the high school track, with said funds to come from the Fall Mountain Regional High School Capital Reserve Fund.
Can I also point out that the surplus, the 250, that's as of July 1st, 2026, not 2027, so it's the end of this current school year. So.
Wouldn't we have voted on that from when we vote for the budget? At the same
So
time,
this is the funds you're voting for next year, for the funds to come from surplus for next year. The surplus for next year is created as based on what is available as of July 1, 2026. The beginning of the year.
okay, just sit with that one, I trust that.
Okay. Yeah, it's
different.
in the article. And that's consistent. With. It's with the.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that it is,
It's
it's just,
awful. Anyway,
Mhm,
so I just wanted to clarify that.
thank you. Did you have more questions about the high school capital reserve fund?
No, I just have questions about the track, but it seems like I should have asked those a long time ago, so.
I would encourage you to review, the December 15th meeting where Bill gave us an update on why we needed and why they felt that that was an appropriate use of that money.
At this time.
Sure.
Can't wait a year.
Well, no, I would have, we had a very good reason. If we don't do it now,
Okay.
It's going to cost us a whole lot more in the very near future. If this
It's been
saves it for 5 years. All right, where are we? This-
So if and only if Article 8 passes, then we're, this article is, asking the voters to raise and appropriate up to $1,350,000 for the purpose of hiring a qualified paving contractor to pave the high school access road and parking lot, and to authorize a withdrawal of $750 from the paving and access road project fund, which would have been created by changing the purpose in the previous article. And then the balance of that, of the $600,000, we're asking that be withdrawn from the high school capital reserve. So this article would only require a majority vote, but if Article 8 doesn't pass, this article is null and voided. Mhm.
Just got a question. Some time back. It was talking about having to build a second access road. Is that included in this plan?
It is not.
It is not, okay.
That would be a separate,
When we were working with the engineers and discussing, that process, there were 3 phases. This is only for phase 1. The second egress is phase 3.
Okay,
so and when we met last, the engineer's estimate of cost was $1,060,000 some thousand. That is to $1,258,000. So I updated that cost item in the information. We did get some language from him about the, what the project entails. It's not just paving. And then we've added notes again that should articles 6 through 9 pass, and that's from the track resurfacing, adding $250,000 if there's a $500,000 surplus, repurposing the health insurance fund, and then this article to withdraw monies from the high school reserve. The remaining balance is estimated to be at about $370,000, which is not unreasonable for the capital reserve balance.
I know it might be confusing, but do we need to stipulate that only if there's a surplus? Because if there is no surplus, then nothing goes in from Article 7.
Mhm.
I don't know how to put that in without it being confusing, but
Misty and I can work on that. That's for budget digest and annual report information only. It does not go on the warrant article or the ballot. And then again, there's a reminder that if Article 9 will not take effect if Article 8 fails.
in the other articles, where it's tax neutral, you would have the language, so this is article is tax neutral. This one would be as well.
Mhm.
If I asked it for the budget and for the information for the budget digest, you add that this, is tax neutral.
are there any other questions about the package of warrant articles that we've just put forward?
Oh, this other question? I must have been out of the loop, though I was involved with the selection of the engineer. Is the engineer got bids and designs? Does he have designs and specs?
He brought them the first meeting in December.
It wouldn't be a bid, it would be as you know, an opinion of probable cost. Goes out to bid once you secure, because bids are only good for 30, 60 days, correct?
Yeah, but he'd put the bid documents together, the documents with all the specifications, so that would be what I'd be looking for, it's the bid docs.
Not the
And
bid
I'd be looking at
actual.
the plan to see if did they add stormwater, which they did. Yeah, I was, perspective against that, but that's fine, I guess.
He emailed those to correct, Gloria?
There's RSAs about water runoff when you're building for school districts.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, I'm just, would have liked to have known, that's okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get that email. Any other questions on those articles? All right, does anybody have any questions regarding the withdrawal articles? They are written as per RSA. Hang on. Article 12 has had a few changes.
You skipped Article 1.
That's talking about the Langdon withdrawal.
Yeah, that's one we were just.
Yeah, 10 and 11 are the withdrawals.
Did you want to ask the questions about Langdon specifically?
Okay, so for warrant Article 12, we went back to and had additional conversation with the attorney, because as you know, we charge tuition within our district between communities. And so it's been an ongoing last for information because we are the only district that do this, and I've sought opinions from multiple attorneys and the New Hampshire School Board Association as to whether or not the law would supersede our articles of agreement, and how would that impact it and everything else. So in retrospect, the attorney said that, well, let me just read this. In terms of Article 11, let's see. The article would create an intra-district and inter-district open enrollment, and if that is adopted, then it would supersede section 3 of the Articles of Agreement because of an RSA. States there should be no tuition charge for any pupil attending an open enrollment school located in that pupil's resident district, which is why I was asking the questions. So she had, well, she said if the board does not wish to do that, then we need to utilize the better wording, which is in here, which is what we had proposed initially. So our discussion and thought process is that it's not transparent to try to, I mean, if we put language in to create an open enrollment that addressed intra-district and inter-district, that's not transparent to the taxpayers. So we are recommending that the language here from the attorney be included, which it specifically says that provides for our in-district students to attend the schools that they're assigned to. Again, this has no impact on best interest or manifested hardship. It doesn't impact parents' choice for homeschooling or going to another district. It just means that it would not be at the liability and expense of our district. So they can still access EFA funds. But so that's why the language is just a little bit different. I had her original language in here, but then because of the intra-district and inter-district questions, she came back with some additional counsel and additional wording and language that we could use if we wanted to go down that route. But
Yeah, and I didn't mean to say it wasn't right what you got.
oh, yeah,
I'm saying this law as written is a mess.
Yes.
It's a mess.
it is.
Nothing should supersede articles of agreement. That's, you have no, we have no opportunity to fix articles of agreement when they just blanketly pass an RSA like that. That's.
So the language that's here should circumvent and prevent that from being an issue. We can still adhere to our articles.
It doesn't prevent our, like, the lead students on that kind of stuff, that's their assigned schools, that's okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Any other questions regarding warrant article 12? No.
What happens to Article 12 if the legislature changes the law? Does it just go
We have to.
away?
Who knows?
We'll just have to do whatever we have to do next year.
Right.
I would imagine that if they did that, they would have to take into consideration when the next available vote is and not make it effective until after that time. That would make.
It would make sense, but
Your crystal ball is better than anybody else's. Yeah.
How we used to do it.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we have about 2 minutes to review the budget hearing process going forward, unless there's any other questions on warrant articles. Sorry, I'm trying to move through quickly. As Misty explained, but then a lot of people have come in, so what I understand is going to happen, Kara will open the budget committee's budget hearing. They'll open it for the public. This board is just members. They will review, he's got a great presentation. They will talk about all of the process and everything we've gone through. And then we will read the warrant articles. Does anybody really want to read one? Or
We
just
also
read them
have,
all?
we also have, Brennan has slides that he'll put up, so,
Yeah, from their presentation. Okay, sorry, that's what I was.
Yep.
Trying to.
Okay, then for the warrant articles are still.
for the warrant articles
For the budget
you created,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're. Okay, so we have warrant articles that pop up while we read them. Do you want me to not read them?
I know.
I think you should read them.
You have to read them into record, right? You read them.
That's what
into
I
record.
thought,
I mean,
so-
we don't at my other district now, but
I was just letting you know that we made slide
Oh, okay.
presentations to make it easy so people could see it and you could read it. That's
if
all.
people are visually impaired or maybe have any educational issues understanding, then, you know, the red word is universally usually understood.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I just don't
Be
think.
able to design a bunch of meetings.
Right. Well, I was also thinking for auditory
Yeah.
learners, like having it read. Yeah, hearing it is more efficient for them.
It's universal.
Surprised me when it sounds-
So we are taking questions from the public, is my understanding on each of those, but we will not be voting as boards in that hearing. We will come back here after and all take them one by one and enter our votes on them. So,
Reason for that?
Attorney recommendation,
To
and
change.
it doesn't happen.
we don't ever like to do the same thing 2 days, 2 years in a row.
Don't see the reason for it. Okay.
Cha-ching.
Different
Attorney. Voice stacking, sorry.
All right, so that is it. We will then, unless there's some reason that we need to, suspend, what's the word you use?
Right, so
Recess.
you had to read that, so I
Then we'll come
explained
back.
that, should something come up during the budget hearing where we have to caucus and have conversation, we would recess the budget hearing, come back here, have those discussions, and then resume the budget hearing. My understanding is it is a situation that could be suspended beyond today, as long as we're transparent when we recess, like we're gonna recess until this. And what that does is it allows us to, we don't have to go by the posting requirements, and we have a little extra leeway that way. But I
Okay,
don't anticipate that.
I don't anticipate that, but stranger things have happened. And then when the budget hearing is closed, we will meet back here, reopen this meeting. Have those votes and any other discussion, and then the school board will have a non-public. So at that point, everybody else can be dismissed and we will stay. Any questions about the process?
When do you give out the cookies?
So going in my car.
Chicken salad.
We used to have really nice refreshments and everything.
No, we are at hard times now.
I'm just saying.
It's time to flop. Is it we can,
All right, well, I believe the public is waiting for us.
I
So-
move to recess this meeting.
Second.
Do we need to,
Maybe we'll call.
Yeah.
It's just Chaz on there.
Jazz?
Yes, recess.
Here, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Lisa?
Eric, yes.
Schoonover, yes.
Suzanne, yes.
Rich, yes.
Krista, yes.
Steve, yes.
All right, thank you. That's the outro list. All right. We are back in session. I don't know what time it is. 7:07 PM. That was an excellent presentation. Well done.
no questions. Look at that.
Thank you.
So, do we know how many people were online? Different health friends, not important, I'll ask him later. I just. The next order of business for us here is to go back to the articles and place our vote on each of them. So it's my understanding that the budget committee votes on money articles only. So that is how we will take things for Misty's purpose. We will start with Chaz.
Nope, got a question.
Okay,
I just want to clarify that we're not gonna do like minorities. We're doing like five members said yes, 4 members said no, 1
So for
abstained.
the record, I need to record everybody's,
Oh.
right? But then on the ballot, it will be 5 yes, no. Yeah. Okay. But for the record of this meeting, I need to have a yes. I need to have a name attached.
Yeah, it was just that.
Yep.
Clarifying.
Yes.
So for every article, we're gonna start with Chaz and we're going to go around the room.
Which way?
School work first. Yes, if I'm looking at you, we're going clockwise. We all good? Misty, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Article 1, not going to read it again. Chaz. How do you vote?
That's just the general budget. I vote yes.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, no.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Chris, no.
Mindy, yes.
Krista, yes.
Garrett, yes.
Ryan, yes.
Steve, yes.
Suzanne, yes.
You good? All right, Article 2. Chaz?
They're not on the screen, but that's the teachers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
me to read?
No, I vote yes.
Okay.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, no.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris, no.
Amanda, no. Krista, no.
Garrett, no.
Ryan, no.
Steve, no.
Can I abstain from this one? Is that allowed or no?
You are welcome
Yes,
to.
I would like to abstain, please.
Article 3, Chaz, this is the Alsted Capital Reserve warrant article.
If I vote on it, yes.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Amanda, yes. Krista, yes.
Garrett abstain.
Ryan, yes.
Steve, abstain.
Suzanne, yes.
Thank you. Article 4 is the Charlestown Capital Reserve article, Chaz. How do you vote?
Yes. Yes.
Kevin,
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Can I ask a question? Can I just take a 2 minutes? Just because of the conversation that was brought up about whether or not the steps should be done in totality or done as a repair. Not that it doesn't affect my money or my school. And I don't know that it's relevant to the conversation. I'm gonna vote yes, because I think we should do something. So I'd like to have money there. But I think I'm gonna vote yes and then go back and instruct the administration to look into what is the best fix, because even though we vote yes, we don't have to withdraw all that if there's a better situation.
Yeah.
So I think yes.
Good point.
This article is regarding what?
Charlestown.
No. Chris votes no.
Amanda votes yes. Krista votes yes.
Garrett votes no.
Ryan votes yes, but echoes Jamie's comments.
I abstain.
I abstain.
Article 5 is the Walpole Capital Reserve. Chaz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris abstains.
Amanda, yes. Krista, yes.
Garrett abstain.
Ryan, yes.
Steve, yes.
Suzanne, yes.
All right, thank you. Article 6 is the Fall Mountain Regional Capital Reserve for the track. Chaz?
Yes.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris abstains.
Amanda, yes. Krista, yes.
Garrett abstain.
Ryan, yes.
Steve, yes.
Suzanne, yes.
Article 7 concerns surplus funds. Chaz, how do you vote?
Which one was this?
This
This is about the, I'm gonna vote no on this one. I think it's, with everything going on, I think it's, I'm just gonna vote no.
Yes.
Shelley, no.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris, votes no.
Amanda, no. Krista votes no.
Garrett, no.
Ryan, no.
Just to be clear, this is the health.
No,
No.
this is the surplus funds to go into the capital reserves, but we added, so it's all 5 reserves plus the high school.
No.
Suzanne, no.
Article 8 is the change in use of the, yes, of the health insurance capital reserve. Chaz,
No.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, no.
Sarah, yes. Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris abstains.
Amanda, yes. Krista, yes.
Garrett, no.
Ryan, no, but I would like to just say that I'm in favor of dissolving the health fund. I'm just not in favor of putting it towards saving it. I would have preferred to see it go to the balance instead.
Where?
Good.
Fund balance.
And I.
Yes.
No,
Just, there you go,
with that.
say your.
Suzanne, no.
Understood.
Article 9. Chaz,
I'll vote no.
Kevin, yes.
No, because I voted no on 8, so.
Same, I know.
yes. Yes. Alyssa, yes.
Jamie, yes.
Chris, no.
Amanda, yes. Krista, yes.
Garrett, no.
I abstain.
I vote yes. This is
Understood.
pull the money from the high school capital reserve and get 600,000 towards it. Get the work started.
Understood. Contingent.
You bring up a good one.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
It won't pull anything, it's contingent on the one before it.
Yeah.
It kills it if
Yeah.
it doesn't pass, so.
I vote no.
Article 10, lawful withdrawal. Chaz,
Yes.
Kevin, no.
Shelley, no.
Sarah, no.
Karen, no. Alyssa, no.
Jamie, no.
Chris, no.
Amanda, no.
It's not a money
No,
article.
it's not.
Oh,
That's right.
Sorry, guys. Doing a great job of it.
She's gone. Hello.
Article 11, Langdon withdrawal. Chaz,
Yes.
Kevin, no.
Shelley, no.
Sarah, no.
Karen, no. Alyssa, no.
Jamie, no.
Article 12, open enrollment. Chaz,
I'm gonna vote yes on this one, because I mean, I'd rather put a number in the second one, but yes.
Kevin, yes.
Shelley, yes.
Sarah, yes.
Karen, yes. Alyssa, yes.
Point of order, question. When does this article have to be voted and set by? Today?
Just, yeah. Just, okay.
But we can have, no, we have no room left to do a separate public hearing without moving.
Well, we have to do a public.
You have to do a public hearing on it anyway. Or by the hour, saving.
Like in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, yes, yeah, within 20 days of the deliberative session. Yep, fun times. Yeah, I have concerns. I wanna, yes, I go to vote yes, but I have concerns with how it's written. Cause I've seen so many different writings of it and there's so many different pieces that just keep getting brought up.
I think the fact that we have so much, back and forth with council,
Yeah, it's a
So-
mess.
but if something was to come to us, we would have legs to stand on and say we did our due diligence.
Understood, But I think there's wording, it's been changed, what, 4 times, right? We've changed
Today.
it 4 times, yeah. Not your fault. That's not accurate. No, it's all
You didn't change
it.
She provided us options.
I know, but they didn't, you know, when you, it's so new, like some of them don't make sense, right? I just have concerns that I feel like there's a word missing, but, just based on all that I've been through on the other one, but okay, yeah. let's let it fly.
unclear to the public?
No, I think there's one other word that needs to be added, and I can't even think and do it on the fly, because I'd have to go back and look at the other 2 articles that I'm associated with. That I feel like our folks have missed a piece, but we'll let it fly and hopefully.
So I will say that our folks
I know
like,
they are, I know.
leading the way with open enrollment, so.
I know they are. It's a mess. It's gonna be what it is.
Gives me confidence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's an opportunity at deliberative, you're not changing the purpose. So you might have an opportunity if you.
You can only change the numbers after deliberative. You cannot change the wording of the article itself. You can't change the intent of the original.
You're not changing the intent, by, depending on, I guess, it depends on the word.
Yeah. But, you know, here we are where we are.
But
so.
you can speak to it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of seeking on this one.
So
I will.
I make a motion to go into non-public.
I would like to ask a question first. Is it possible at this juncture to get I would like to understand more about why the budget committee is not in support of changing the article and moving forward with paving this parking lot. Can I do that at this point?
I'll speak to it first. Though, for me, those funds were put there for health insurance costs. And I just have an opinion that they should either stay to offset health insurance cost, or to Mr. Spilsbury's point, that it should get dissolved and go back to each of the towns.
Yeah.
In the closest and best attempt to the proportions that it got placed there.
Okay, I have two.
I do recognize that you guys need money to pave the parking lot, and the parking lot needs to be paved. But just other things I do with nonprofit, this isn't a nonprofit, but we set up a scholarship fund and we stay out of it. It's for that. I just feel that we're taking funds that I'm repeating myself, my apologies. They're designated for this, and we're changing the purpose, short version.
Can the perception be changed from, it was created to support the district and it is still being used to support the district?
In total.
In total, coupled with the fact that when we look at things like health insurance and staffings, it really does bear that about 45% of it is paid in by Charlestown. The high school is the same. We're looking at very much the same numbers in terms of what it's going to cost each individual town to pave this parking lot. It's the same that if it was to go back into the general fund and then go back as surplus, it would go back as essentially ADM. So the numbers are very, very static. But what I feel is going to happen is, if we put this back to the general fund, and I've done a complete 180 on some of this stuff. So it goes back into the general fund, it goes back as surplus. The taxpayers see a significant decrease to their tax rate 1 year. And then we come back the following year, and not only are we making up for that surplus, but then we're asking for $1.5 million to pave a parking lot that we are being docked for safety wise. We have been threatened with lawsuits on. So this is a very serious issue that we are dealing with, and I do not believe that sending this back to the taxpayers in essentially the effect of 50 cents on $1,000 tax rate is a really good use of our money. And I strongly ask you to consider and then champion this.
I can speak to why I said no is, I feel like I appreciate all the work, and yes, it needs to be paved. But I think big picture, and I watched the school board meeting recording last night, there's a lot of like a lot of confusion, I think, about it. I mean, I understand that it's clear. I'm worried the voters might have some confusion, and also the bigger conversation of what to do with the fund. So like when I voted no, it just means like, just to keep it where it is. I would not at this point, I would vote no if it said to turn it back to the taxpayers, because I totally understand when we had that with fire code stuff a bunch of years ago. So, and then my other concern is with big picture, everything, costs being so unpredictable. Is what if right now we get in a spot where we zero out everything and it's still not done all the way? And then what do we do? Kind of deal. So I'm looking at it from, I think there's just, for me, there's still a lot of what ifs. It's not, I don't, me personally, the money should just stay where it is for right now. Because I also think we're gonna get pushback from the public at the deliberative, but I'm not ready to fully I don't feel good either way saying yes or no, is really honestly it. I hear you, and yes, I don't know the last time the parking lot was paved, probably when I was here, but like, I get.
Long before that.
Before.
I get, like, yeah, it's coming from, I don't feel like I personally have enough information.
Then this is the forum for you to get that information.
We will.
Oh, I know,
Bring it forward.
but I'm just,
Yeah.
really looking at this as, if we go at this from a place of fear and a place of I don't have enough and the public doesn't have enough, it's our job as elected officials to get them the information. And I think we are gathering it, and if we can't support it in this room, then we need to really consider what this is gonna look like a few years down the road. We know that the prices are not going down. We know that fuel is incredibly, we do not know, people are, who knows if we can even get it, so we're gonna add for the dirt parking lot.
So.
And that,
Back to dirt.
yeah, it might be the safest thing to do.
She's had her hand up.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I voted yes, and I'm gonna say why, because I get your point. But I think that that money's just sitting there, and how long has it been sitting there for?
Long
And we
time.
can use it to help not have to go back to the taxpayer. On top of the fact that if we get a lawsuit, our taxes are gonna go up anyway, because we're all gonna be paying that.
I would also like to
And
add
that's-
to what you're saying, precedent is set, because the very room you are sitting in was built using money from that fund. When that fund grew exceptionally back in the 90s, because we were so good at managing it.
Not the health.
I was like, yeah, what?
Not the
It
health.
was
fund?
It was,
Oh, they redirected,
they used money because there was so much in that fund.
so they redirected it. Okay.
They were able to build this building without having to.
So we need to dig that up.
Redirect the
You're-
restricted.
You're the only one that knows that.
So this is
How would
coming
they-
from
how
Steve
would the school
Barone.
Board be able to redirect. or
No, I don't think,
restrict
I'm sorry.
Same article,
Through an article.
probably through an article, so let us find out, cause
I guess I could be mistaken.
I-
My understanding was that that was the information told to me.
Yeah.
That there was so much money in that fund that it was
then, don't know.
transferred to build this building. We did not end up having to pay from tax dollars to build this library.
So-
Build the library.
So I voted no.
that. Yeah,
Um,
I understand.
I believe that we had opportunity over the last 3 years to do some of the parking lot, or at least put money away for the parking lot. There was unspent money that the school board could have redirected to that fund to do that work or start that work.
Not without a warrant article.
If it's extra money, if it's unspent money before July 1st, the school board had opportunity,
We
now.
tried, we actually tried to get a legal opinion on that when Mary was here. Mary
And they
Henry.
still say even if it's unspent, the
They
school board
said
can't redirect
We
the line
did
item.
not redirect it, no, without.
It-
a warrant.
Remember getting
It was not,
Work under contract.
We weren't we didn't have an actual contract ready to go
Okay,
before the
so
end of the
you couldn't
year.
encumber the funds.
We tried,
Because there wasn't a PO in place.
correct, I brought a thing, we tried, and we went through, it, but we had to rescind it.
Well, now we get a contract, and if there is extra money at the end of the year,
we could redirect, we could encumber it for this project,
Potentially, yes.
potentially, yes. So I think we're gonna still have an extra amount of money at
We
the,
don't know, but potentially.
I don't know, but
yes.
potentially, yes.
We're hoping that this works better, so we could,
But
but if it doesn't.
I don't share your feeling that the public is gonna vote it down. I don't share that feeling.
You never know. You don't.
Yeah,
Does the public know it's a 3-step process? Because I feel like I'm on top of things and I didn't realize it was 3 steps until right before we walked out there. So when it was being discussed, I actually wrote that down in my notes because is it like pretty common knowledge out there that this is a 3-step?
Well, as you saw in the hearing, even Mr. Spilsbury, who is incredibly knowledgeable in these types of situations, wasn't ready, and then it made sense when we presented Article 9. And so I think when we send out the budget digest, there will have to be a part in it that says these 3 pieces fit together and here's how.
It's up to you, right, so.
And if that's.
No, that's not my question.
The budget
It's the project.
Oh, no, not this, the 3-phase, does the public know it's a 3-phase project?
Majority, no.
Okay.
And we're only presenting phase 1, we haven't even gotten to phase 2 or 3.
yeah, but see, that's,
But that gets murky and.
But none of them are necessary. They are all essentially individual pieces. We don't need to,
We don't have to have a.
we don't have to do phase 2 or 3.
We got information on them because it has been strongly suggested over the past, since I was here, so it's gotta be the past 13 years maybe. It's been strongly suggested that we actually look at, there is an old like logging road.
Yeah.
Access off of, is it Jericho Road, I think?
Yeah.
And so in a dire emergency, which we had to use it one year, in a dire emergency situation where there is no access into this building other than the one road coming in, we had to use it when the tornado went through and tore the trees out.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
put them across the road in order to evacuate. So it was strongly suggested that we look into formalizing a secondary access road, right? And that's why when they did the study, it was a part of the study because it was strongly suggested that a real engineer, not just folks, saying just pay that, right? Well, maybe you can't do that.
Is there a reason that I'm not aware of why the public doesn't know that those
We
conversations?
just
should
got
be-
the information.
We don't even, we honestly, we don't have complete information, we've been focusing on this phase.
Okay,
When we entered into an agreement with them, we said, no, it has to be phased out.
yeah,
And so now they have all the information for this phase and they asked me this week, and I can't think about anything outside of budget right now.
We have been
Which we
talking
want
about
to,
it for
yeah.
quite a while, and so there are
They were
public
coming up,
meetings,
okay.
there was an entire committee formed, Chris.
Can I just ask quickly what phase 2 is, cause now I know the beginning and the end, just what the middle is.
So phase 2, my understanding is that is the transportation.
Oh, yeah, transportation facility and
Oh, okay.
maintenance barns, yeah.
Okay.
And if you've ever driven over there, you can see that they
Oh,
have puddles to swim through in order to get on their bus. I mean, we've got some work to do.
yeah, definitely.
So thank you for all the questions.
So, yeah, so that's relevant when we get to the budget. Deliberative session, that we need to make sure, so if you are bringing questions like that, right, we need to do a bigger job, not better job, but a more. Thorough job, but we did just get some of the final information.
I'm concerned if we don't support this, we're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
We're aware of it being safety hazards, putting our students at risk. And we're aware of this, so yeah, lawsuit could be coming, we don't know, but, and who wants to, deal with that, but. And then potentially the cost, it's gonna continue to deteriorate with all the weather that we have here. We're gonna be paying more. So I think it needs attention now. Phase one is critical. Phase one's critical.
Are you
Needs attention now.
requesting another vote? I mean.
I'm not doing anything yet.
No, she just was curious.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I know I explained part of why, but I did want to echo Suzanne's comment about the phases of the project, because I thought phase 2 and 3 was inevitable. That they were coming and there was a dollar amount associated with that, but the dollar amount wasn't clear. So I'm thinking, this $1 million project becomes $5 million project. So that also factored in?
Good to know, it's good to know for us.
Because I did participate in, I did listen, and I knew there were multiple phases and different, access roads and whatnot, but I guess I didn't think, I think they were inevitable.
I'd like to think they are inevitable, but they are, not.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll win Powerball.
I did actually buy a ticket last time, just in case I could think.
I have to tell you, we've been trying to get this paved since I was still a VA here.
They should have it.
So, Alyssa,
2012 on my desk.
did you have your hand up?
No.
Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna disagree with you that the percentages washing out to the individual towns of the district is probably a fair shake. But I have much appreciation for your foresight for trying to keep the tax rate level over multiple years, because you're not in the now, you're in the now, the past and the future, trying to manage everything. So I commend you for that, but I cannot change my mind based on the philosophical statement I made earlier.
Understood.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for entertaining my question. And if you can at all do anything to help us get this done, I would appreciate it. Anything else to come before this meeting before?
And then call the question. Are we good? Shall I need a motion?
I moved.
Oh, I voted it.
Quietly seconded it too.
We can adjourn, we have a non-public. So again, thank you all for being here.
Yeah.